Eden stared at the reflection in the cracked mirror of the church bathroom, her white dress feeling like a straitjacket, the veil a noose around her dreams. The organ music swelled outside, a mocking symphony to the life she was about to surrender. But in that moment her phone buzzed with a text from Talia. "I'm outside. Choose us." Heart pounding, Eden ripped off the veil, dashed through the side door, and into the waiting car, leaving her groom, her family, and her carefully constructed facade in ruins. Eden's tires screeched as she peeled out of the parking lot, the small town of Willow Creek blurring into streaks of green and gray in the rearview mirror. Talia's hand gripped hers tightly over the gear shift, her knuckles white, but her eyes steady with a fierce determination that made Eden's chest ache. "We did it," Talia whispered, her voice barely cutting through the roar of the engine, but it carried the weight of years of stolen glances and whispered promises. Inside Eden's mind, the chaos swirled like a storm she couldn't outrun. How had it come to this? Growing up in Willow Creek, a place where everyone knew your business before you did, Eden had learned early to bury her truths. As a child, denied a winter coat by her devout mother because God provides for the faithful, she'd shivered through blizzards, her small frame toughening against the cold, and against the expectations that girls like her should dream of princes, not princesses. That denial had been the first crack in her armor, a symbol of the love withheld unless she conformed. Now at 28, fleeing her own wedding, she wondered if warmth was something she'd ever truly feel, or if it was just another illusion. Talia glanced over, her dark curls framing a face etched with worry. "Your mom. She'll never forgive this." Eden swallowed hard, the image of her mother's stern face flashing. Eyes narrowed in prayer meetings, voice sharp in lectures about sin. "She already hasn't forgiven me for existing," Eden muttered, her thoughts racing back to high school, when she'd first felt the pull toward Talia, her best friend since kindergarten. They'd shared everything. Secrets under blankets at sleepovers, dreams of escaping the town's suffocating grip. But when Eden's feelings deepened into something undeniable, she'd panicked, dating boys to prove she was normal. All while Talia waited in the shadows, her own heart breaking silently. The road stretched ahead, leading to the city where they could disappear, but Eden's guilt gnawed at her. Was this freedom or just another form of running? Her father, a quiet man who followed her mother's lead, would be devastated. Not by her love for Talia, perhaps, but by the scandal ripping through their church community. Whispers of unnatural and abomination had haunted Eden since she came out in college, only to retreat back into the closet upon returning home. Marrying Jacob, the pastor's son, had seemed like the perfect cover. Stable, approved, a way to keep the peace. But last night, in a tearful confession to Talia, Eden had admitted the lie she couldn't live. Talia squeezed her hand again. "Stop overthinking. We're together now. That's what matters." But Eden's inner voice screamed otherwise. What about the cost? Jacob, kind but clueless, left at the altar. His humiliation would echo through Willow Creek for years. And Talia's family? Her immigrant parents from Mexico, who had sacrificed everything for her to assimilate, would see this as a betrayal of their American dream. Talia had always been the good girl. Straight A student, volunteer at the community center. Coming out with Eden meant risking deportation threats in a town growing hostile under new policies, where difference was a liability. As they crossed the state line, Eden's phone exploded with notifications. Texts from her sister, voicemails from her mother laced with fury and scripture. "How could you do this to us?" one read. Eden's heart twisted. She wasn't just leaving a wedding, she was shattering the fragile illusion of family unity. In her mind she replayed the ultimatum from last week, her mother cornering her in the kitchen, eyes blazing. "Marry Jacob or you're no daughter of mine." The words had sliced deep, echoing the coat denial from childhood. Love conditional on obedience. They pulled into a dingy motel on the outskirts of the city, the neon sign flickering like Eden's resolve. Talia booked a room under a fake name, her efficiency a balm to Eden's fraying nerves. Inside, as they collapsed on the bed, Eden's thoughts turned inward. Was this love worth the wreckage? Talia's touch on her arm grounded her, but the doubt lingered. "I love you," Talia said softly, her voice a lifeline. "But we have to face this head-on. No more hiding." That night sleep evaded Eden. She lay staring at the ceiling, her mind a battlefield of what-ifs. What if she had stayed? Smiled through the vows, built a life of quiet desperation? No, that would have killed her slowly. But this path? It demanded confrontation, the kind that exposed raw wounds. Talia stirred beside her, murmuring in her sleep, and Eden felt a surge of protectiveness. For Talia, who'd endured her own battles, rejection from friends who called her confused, Eden would fight. But the price loomed large. Isolation, judgment, perhaps even danger in a town where hate crimes against queer folk were whispered but real. By morning, news had spread. A call from Eden's best friend back home. The church is in uproar. Your mom's leading prayers for your salvation. Eden's stomach churned. The drama was just beginning. A web of consequences unraveling. Talia, sensing her turmoil, pulled her close. We're in this together. Whatever comes. But Eden wondered. Could love survive the storm they'd unleashed? As they drove further, Eden's reflections deepened. The betrayal wasn't just hers. It was mutual. Her family had betrayed her first, by denying her authenticity. Society's prejudices had forced her hand. Yet, the moral quandary ate at her. Was eloping righteous or selfish? The road ahead promised answers, but at what cost? The city lights of Seattle welcomed them like indifferent strangers, a far cry from Willow Creek's nosy familiarity. Eden and Talia found a cheap apartment in a bustling neighborhood, where anonymity was their shield. But even here, the echoes of home pursued them. Eden's phone a constant reminder of the rift she'd carved. In the quiet moments unpacking boxes, Eden's mind replayed the wedding day fallout. Jacob's text had come that first night. Why? I thought we were happy. Guilt flooded her. He'd been a pawn in her deception, kind enough not to deserve this public shaming. She typed and deleted responses, settling on silence. Talia watched, her own worries bubbling. You can't carry everyone's pain, she said, but Eden's inner monologue disagreed. If not me, then who? Her choices had ripples, drowning those she loved. Talia started job hunting, her graphic design skills landing interviews, while Eden tempied at a coffee shop, her journalism degree gathering dust. The routine offered normalcy, but cracks appeared. One evening, Talia came home tense. My parents called. They heard from your mom. They're disappointed. The word hung heavy, masking deeper hurt. Talia's father, a stoic man who'd crossed borders for opportunity, saw her as his pride. Now she was that girl in town gossip. Eden's heart sank. What did you say? Talia sighed, collapsing on the couch. The truth. That I love you. That I'm happy. But her eyes betrayed the lie. Happiness came laced with loss. Eden pulled her into an embrace, but inside doubt festered. Was she worth this sacrifice? Talia's family had already faced racism. Adding homophobia was a double blow. In Willow Creek, whispers of those illegals had always simmered, now amplified by Eden's scandal. Weeks blurred into months, the initial thrill of freedom souring under pressure. Eden's sister Mia reached out secretly. Mom's disowned you. Dad's silent. The church split over it. Some support you quietly. The news ignited a spark in Eden. Perhaps change was possible. But Talia cautioned, don't go back. It's a trap. Yet Eden's mind raced with possibilities. What if confronting the town could heal wounds? Or would it reopen them? The turning point came with a betrayal that shattered their fragile peace. Eden's old friend from church, Sarah, visited unannounced. I came to talk sense, Sarah said, her eyes pleading. Over coffee, she revealed the town's turmoil. Protests at the church, families divided. But then the knife twist. Your mom sent me. She wants you to come home, annul everything, make it right. Eden's anger flared. Make it right? By denying who I am. Sarah's response cut deep. Talia's using you. She's always been the rebel. Think about Jacob. He's heartbroken. Lies Eden knew, but seeds of doubt planted. That night, arguing with Talia, old insecurities surfaced. Is this real or just rebellion? Eden accused, her voice cracking. Talia recoiled, hurt flashing. How can you say that? After everything. The fight escalated, words like weapons. Eden's fear of abandonment clashing with Talia's resentment of being questioned. In the aftermath, lying awake, Eden dissected her choices. The moral ambiguity gnawed. Had she dragged Talia into this for selfish reasons? Society's lens twisted their love into something sinful. But was fighting back worth the collateral damage? Talia, in her own turmoil, thought of her parents' sacrifices, education, stability, all jeopardized by her choice. But love wasn't a choice, it was a force. Reconciliation came slowly. Talia apologized first. I know you're scared. Me too. They talked deep into the night, unraveling threads of pain. Eden admitted her childhood scars shaped her distrust. Talia shared her cultural burdens, where family honor trumped personal happiness. The bond strengthened, but external pressures mounted. A call from Willow Creek's mayor, a distant relative, invited Eden to a town hall on community values. Suspicious, she declined, but curiosity burned. Talia opposed. It's a setup to shame us. Yet Eden saw opportunity for dialogue, for change. The decision loomed. Return and face the fire, or build anew in isolation? As tensions rose, a leaked email from Eden's mother surfaced online, ranting about perversion invading our homes. The backlash was swift. Supportive posts from allies, hateful ones from foes. Eden's name trended locally, her story a flashpoint. Inside, she questioned. Was visibility liberation or target practice? Talia, seeing Eden's resolve waver, made a pact. If we go back, we go together. No more secrets. But the path ahead promised more betrayals, more costs. Eden wondered if love could endure the siege. The drive back to Willow Creek felt like marching into battle, the familiar hills rising like sentinels guarding old wounds. Eden gripped the wheel, Talia beside her, their hands linked in silent solidarity. The town hall invitation had evolved into a full-blown event, billed as a dialogue on family and faith. But Eden knew it was a stage for confrontation. Arriving, the parking lot overflowed, faces from her past staring as they walked in. Whispers rippled. That's her. With the girl. Eden's mind screamed retreat, but her feet propelled her forward. Inside, the room buzzed with tension, churchgoers on one side, a smattering of progressives on the other. Her mother sat front row, face a mask of righteousness, flanked by Jacob, whose eyes avoided hers. The mayor opened. We're here to heal divisions. But Eden's turn at the mic ignited the powder keg. I left my wedding because I couldn't live a lie, she said, voice steady despite the storm inside. Loving Talia isn't a sin, denying it is. Gasps echoed, her mother's face paled. Questions flew. What about God's word? You're tearing families apart. Talia stood beside her, adding, love doesn't destroy, it builds. But prejudice does. The room erupted, arguments clashing like thunder. Eden's inner turmoil peaked. Was this awakening the town or fanning flames? A young girl in the back, eyes wide, approached later. You give me hope. But countering that, threats in the parking lot. Anonymous notes on their car. Leave or else. Back at a motel, home unsafe, the betrayal deepened. Mia confessed. Mom orchestrated this to expose you, hoping shame brings you back. The revelation crushed Eden. Her own mother, weaponizing faith against her child. Tears flowed as she confronted the moral divide. Family loyalty versus self-truth. How do I forgive that? She whispered to Talia. Talia's response was raw. Maybe you don't. But we can't let it define us. Yet her own cracks showed. Calls from home ignored. Her parents' silence a louder rejection. In quiet moments, Talia pondered her sacrifices. Leaving a promising career in Willow Creek, facing deportation fears amplified by anti-immigrant rhetoric. Was Eden's fight hers too, or a borrowed burden? The drama escalated with Jacob's confrontation. He cornered them at a diner. You humiliated me. For what? A phase. Eden's anger boiled. It wasn't about you. It was about surviving. But his words lingered, echoing societal doubts. Inside, Eden questioned her path. Righteous rebellion or reckless destruction? Allies emerged. A local LGBTQ group offered support, sharing stories of similar struggles. One woman recounted losing custody battles due to orientation. Another, workplace discrimination. Eden saw the bigger picture. Her story wasn't isolated, but a thread in a tapestry of injustice. This fueled her, but at a price: sleepless nights, paranoia from stares. Then the ultimate betrayal. Talia's hesitation. During a heated argument, she admitted, sometimes I wonder if staying hidden was easier. The words stung like acid. Eden recoiled. You regret us? Talia backtracked, but the seed was sown. Alone in her thoughts, Eden dissected the damage. Love tested by fire, revealing fractures. Rebuilding trust took effort. They attended therapy, unpacking layers. Eden's abandonment fears from childhood, Talia's cultural guilt. Progress inched forward, but society pushed back. A church petition circulated to protect traditional values. Naming them. Friends turned foes. Jobs offers vanished. Amid the chaos, a moment of awakening. Eden's father called secretly. I'm proud of your courage, he said, voice trembling. I was too weak to stand up. The confession cracked her defenses. Perhaps change started small within families. But highs crashed with lows. A vandalized car, slurs spray-painted. Fear gripped them. Was safety an illusion? Talia's resolve hardened. We fight or flee. Eden chose fight, organizing a counter-event. A pride gathering in the park. Turnout surprise. Dozens showed, sharing testimonies. Her mother appeared, not to protest, but to watch from afar, face conflicted. The event's success brought media attention, amplifying their story. Eden reflected. Damage done but seeds of change planted. Yet the personal toll mounted, exhaustion, isolation. Talia whispered one night. Is this worth it? Eden's heart echoed the question, but her spirit answered yes. As conflicts peaked, Eden faced her deepest truth. Love demanded sacrifice, but so did justice. The balance teetered, promising more trials. The pride gathering's afterglow faded quickly, replaced by a backlash that shook Willow Creek to its core. Petitions turned to protests outside the community center, signs waving scriptures like weapons. Eden and Talia became symbols, heroes to some, villains to others. The pressure cooker of public scrutiny amplified their private struggles, turning every decision into a moral minefield. Eden's mind was a constant whirl of self-interrogation. Had she ignited progress or just chaos? Reports of increased hate incidents. Queer kids bullied at school. A trans teen run out of town weighed on her. Am I responsible? She asked Talia one evening, as they barricaded their temporary home against potential threats. Talia, ever the anchor, replied, No, bigotry is. But we can't stop now. Yet Talia's own doubts simmered. Her parents finally called, voices laced with pain. Come home alone. We can fix this. The ultimatum mirrored Eden's mother's, a cruel symmetry. Talia hung up, tears streaming, her inner voice raging. Why must love cost family? She'd traded cultural roots for authenticity, but the void ached. In quiet reflection, she weighed the trade-offs. Happiness with Eden versus filial duty. The drama intensified with a town council meeting, where ordinances against promoting alternative lifestyles were proposed. Eden testified against it, her voice ringing. This isn't protection, it's erasure. Supporters cheered. Opponents booed. Jacob, now a vocal critic, accused her of corrupting youth. The personal attack stung. Once a friend, now an adversary fueled by hurt. Betrayal struck closer. Sarah, the supposed ally, leaked private emails to the local paper, twisting Eden's words into sensational headlines. Runaway bride confesses doubts. The article painted her as unstable, Talia as manipulative. Eden's fury boiled over in confrontation. Why? Sarah sneered. You destroyed lives. This is justice. The loss of trust deepened Eden's isolation. Even allies questioned her judgment. Inside, Eden grappled with ethics. Her choices had consequences, but silence enabled oppression. Talia, supporting her publicly, privately crumbled. I miss my life before, she confessed one night. The admission sparked their fiercest fight. Accusations of regret, fears of abandonment. If you want out, go.
Eden shooted, regret instant.
Talia stormed out, leaving Eden alone with her demons. Hours later, Talia returned, face tear-streaked. I don't want out. But this is hard. They reconciled through raw honesty, exposing vulnerabilities. Eden's fear of unworthiness, Talia's cultural shame. Therapy helped, but society didn't pause. A death threat arrived, anonymous but chilling. Sinners burn. Fear drove them to consider leaving, but a turning point came via unexpected support. The young girl from the town hall organized a school walkout against discrimination, crediting Eden's story. Media coverage shifted slightly, humanizing them. Eden's father visited secretly. Your mother's softening. Give her time. Hope flickered but caution remained. As high noon approached, a family intervention loomed. Eden's mother requested a meeting, neutral ground at a cafe. Tense they arrived. Her mother's eyes, once hard now weary. I thought I was saving you. The confession cracked barriers. Eden responded. You were hurting me. Tears flowed. No full reconciliation but a chink in the armor. Talia watched, her own longing for parental acceptance stirring. Later, she called her parents, pleading understanding. Silence met her words but seeds were planted. The council voted down the ordinance. A small victory amid losses. Eden reflected. Wins came at personal expense, strained relationships, mental exhaustion. But awakening spread. More out queer folk in town, support groups forming. Yet damage lingered. Talia's job offer in Seattle tempted. Stability versus fight. Eden encouraged. Choose what's right for you. The decision hung, testing their bond. In the quiet, Eden pondered the greater good. Individual happiness versus collective change. The scales tipped erratically, promising a climactic choice. With the ordinance defeated, Willow Creek simmered in uneasy truce, but Eden and Talia's world teetered on the edge of irreversible change. Talia's Seattle job offer loomed like a lifeline, or a noose. It's a fresh start, she said, eyes pleading for understanding. Eden nodded but inside panic clawed. Was this the end disguised as opportunity? The moral crossroads stared them down. Staying meant enduring endless battles. Leaving felt like abandonment of those inspired by their story. Eden's mind raced through scenarios. If Talia went alone, could their love survive distance? Or was compromise the ultimate betrayal? Confrontation came swiftly. Eden's mother invited them home. A tentative olive branch. The dinner table, once a battleground, now held fragile peace. I was wrong, her mother admitted, voice cracking. Fear blinded me. Eden's father nodded, his quiet support a balm. But Jacob's absence lingered, a reminder of unbroken wounds. Talia shared her dilemma. I need to think of us. Her parents' recent call, softening but conditional, added layers. Acceptance hinged on discretion. A half-measure Talia rejected. I won't hide anymore, she declared, her resolve stealing Eden's. Yet doubt persisted. A late-night talk exposed raw truths. Eden confessed. I dragged you into this mess. Talia countered. I chose you. But I need space to breathe. The words hung. A prelude to potential fracture. The climax unfolded at a community forum, where Eden spoke last. We've paid dearly for truth. Lost friends, family ties strained. But hiding costs more, our souls. Applause mixed with boos, but a shift occurred. More nods than before. Afterward, the young girl approached. You changed my life. I'm coming out to my parents. Inspired, Eden urged Talia. We can make a difference here. But Talia wavered. At what price? Our sanity. The argument peaked. You're asking me to sacrifice everything. Talia cried. Eden recoiled, seeing the tall dark circles under Talia's eyes, the weight of constant vigilance. In solitude, Eden faced her deepest reckoning. Love required release, not possession. Go to Seattle, she said the next day, heartbreaking. I'll join if it works. Talia refused. Not without you. Compromise emerged. They'd relocate together, supporting Willow Creek remotely through advocacy. But fate twisted. Eden's mother fell ill, a stress-induced collapse. At the hospital, reconciliation deepened. Don't leave because of me, she whispered. Eden stayed temporarily, Talia by her side. Their bond tested but unbroken. Months later, settled in Seattle, they reflected on the journey. Willow Creek evolved slowly. Pride flags appeared, dialogues continued. Eden brought warmth to those once cold. Her childhood denial fueling empathy. Damage healed unevenly. Some relationships mended, others severed. Talia's parents visited. Awkward but progressing. Eden's family adapted, pride replacing prejudice. In the end, their love endured, scarred but stronger. But the question lingered. Was defying society a moral triumph? Or did the ends justify the means when innocence suffered along the way? Was it right to prioritize personal authenticity over family harmony? even if it sparked broader societal change?